Hey guys, I don't know if you're still paying attention, but I certainly am. The Tory Woods legal case. And I have many notes because there have been a great deal of updates. So let's go through them. Okay, on April the 16th, a court hearing for a suppression order. Tesselin Mastrosa, which is Tory Woods, requests identity suppression order due to harassment and death threats. First of all, let's just pump the brakes on that. Death threats? Death threats. I mean, you guys have no chill. Like, seriously, just fucking settle down a bit. That's a bit much, right? Um, the court denied the request, citing public interest, yes, and insufficient evidence of physical risk, which is fair enough because it was only online nonsense, right? Um, I also have the arguments that the defence plans to use. Okay, so first of all, it was all fictional and it was intended for adult readers. Now, I already covered this in my YouTube video. It doesn't matter if it's fictional or not, especially in her case because it both glamorised and romanticised the theme. So that's not going to stick, right? No actual children involved or harmed. Again, same as the first argument. In this case, the defence is just padding it up. It does make a difference. The main character was legally of age during all explicit scenes. Based on what I saw, that's not entirely true. But based on what I saw, see, the thing is, the screenshots and everything, there was nothing in the screenshots to say that it came from that book. But based on the theme and what was going on, it sounds like it was from that book to me, right? So, you know, what I'm going to say is allegedly. I don't believe that to be true. And these last two ones, these are the two ones that I actually agree with and that I made a big point about in my YouTube video for this, right? Okay. Equating fiction with exploitation sets a dangerous precedent. Yes, 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 it absolutely does, right? Because if that precedent gets set, then we will see books, even things like The Handmaid's Tale, which is absolutely exploitation, will just get pulled off every shelf in the country. Right, so it's pretty bad, right? We really, this is the main argument that I have for this. It's just, anyway. Last defence, suppression of fiction, oh, can't even speak. Suppression of fiction risks censorship of taboo / dark topics. Yes, this is something else that I brought up in my YouTube video. Look, it is through photography, art, writing, just any artistic endeavour that we acknowledge and confront the darkness in society. That's how we do it. It just is. And the problem as well is that art runs parallel to culture. So if there's censorship in art, then the culture starts to die. And I don't want that for Australia. Right, so yeah, I've got these last 2 points, even though they're pretty much the same point, I do agree with. Again, I think the defence is just trying to pad it up. Just talking for the sake of talking. The current status, she has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Those charges are possessing, producing and disseminating child abuse material. She is currently free on bail with strict restrictions, but I could not find anywhere in the court documents what those restrictions were. So I'm guessing, and again, this is just a guess, I'm guessing that it's going to be a case of she cannot publish anything for a kick-off. What else she may be there's other restrictions may cover, I don't know. I really don't know. Her next court date is set for June the 5th to determine if the case will actually proceed to trial. Now, in my opinion, I do think the case will proceed to trial. I think the defence's arguments are very, very weak. And, I mean, there's only 2 points that I actually agree with. And that is the censorship and, yeah, just... It's going to make things very difficult for artists, writers, creators in general to to do anything. Censorship is going to be a big issue after this one, and this is why I keep following the case so much. And I'll tell you one thing, right? She might not have got that suppression order, but the courts are still, while it's still public information, I had to dig so deep and go through so many of the court documents just to find this information. So they're releasing the information, but they're doing it very quietly. They're doing it on the down low. But I promise you, I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep looking into it. And on June the 5th, I'm going to go back and see what the results there are, and I'm going to get back to you again, okay? Anyway, that's just a quick update on that particular case. What I would say is, if there's anything else you want me to look into, anything else you know that's going on in the creative community, then just let me know and I'll look into it as well and try and break it down as best I can. Anyway, for now, I'm out. Have a good one, everyone.